Why study the political and legal perspective? Understanding the framework for action. Laws and policies provide the foundation for promoting gender equality. They set the standard for how individuals and institutions should behave, creating a framework for action. Ang ibig sabihin is yung pagkakapantay-pantay ng kasayan at iba pang mga issue. Ang mga batas at patakaran ay nagbibigay ng gabay at direksyon para sa lahat ng mga tao at organisasyon on how to act to achieve justice. Example, may mga batas na nagbabawal sa diskriminasyon batay sa kasarian at may mga patakaran sa mga opisina nagtataguyod ng pagkakapantay. In a simple terms, laws and policies provide a clear framework for action toward gender equality. Makakatulong sila sa pag-ayos ng relationship between people and institution and guide us toward a more just society. Defining government responsibility. Laws outline the government obligation to protect and promote gender equality. This include allocating resources, enforcing non-discrimination, and addressing gender-based violence. Ang ibig sabihin daw doon is ang mga batas ay nagsasabi na ang government ay may responsibility na protektahan at itaguyod ang gender equality. This means kailangan maglaan ng mga pagkukunan para sa mga programs na tutulong sa mga pag-achieve ng gender equality. They also need na ipatupad ang mga law na nagbabawal sa discrimination based on gender, and they need nilang tumugon sa mga kaso ng gender-based violence. In short, the government needs to take steps para ma-secure ang mga right ng mga lalaki at babae at para ma-ensure na pantay-pantay ang kanilang trato in society. Empowering advocacy. Knowing the legal framework empowers individual and organization to advocate for changes in law and policies that are not effectively protecting women's rights. It allows them to identify gaps and push for improvement. Imagine mo na ang gobyerno is like a parent na may responsibility sa kanyang mga anak. Ang mga batas ay yung mga house rules na nagsasabi kung paano dapat kumilos ang governor o ang gobyerno para maprotektahan at mataguyod ang mga gender equality. The law state that the government has an obligation to. So, may mga obligation daw ang government. So, the first is allocate resources, like giving resources sa mga anak para makatulong sa kanilang pag-aaral o needs. Kaya, ang governor, kailangan nila maglaan ng pera and support for programs and projects that promote gender equality. And second, enforce law against discrimination like making children come home on time o pagbawal sa kanila sa paggawa ng masasamang bagay. Kaya ang government needs to ensure na walang discrimination sa mga tao because of their gender. The third is respond to gender-based violence, like protecting children mula sa mga bullies o masamang tao. Kailangan ng government na magkaroon ng mga programs at services na tumulong sa mga tao who are victims of violence because of their gender. Next one is analyzing the impact of policy. Studying the political and legal aspect of GAD helps understand how policies are implemented, their effectiveness, and the challenge they face. This analysis can inform future policy development and advocacy effort. Ibig sabihin, ang mga patakan para sa pagpapantay-pantay ng kasarian ay parang mga mga bagong damit, gano'n. Diba? We need to check if they fit right, if comfortable ba ito, at kung talagang makakatulong ba ito sa mga tao, diba? Gano'n. Ganon din sa mga pag-aaral ng aspeto ng politika at batas ng GAD. We look at how policies, ang mga patakaran, whether they're effective in what challenge na makakaharap ng pagpapatupad nito. And susuriin natin kung tama ba ang pagpapatupad ng patakaran at kung talagang makakatulong ba ito sa mga tao. Tinitignan kung epektibo ba ang patakaran at kung hindi ba ito hindi ba ito nagdudulot ng mga problema. at tinitingnan natin kung talagang makakatulong ba ang patakaran to achieve gender equality.
Good day everyone, my name is Zalyn Grace Borja. So our lesson 1 is the legal rights-based framework, the hierarchy of laws. So nakikita niyo itong picture na nandiyan, the 1987 Philippine Constitution and the other. The figure illustrates the hierarchy of laws, with the Constitution being the highest law. If interpretation conflicts arise between ordinances and statutes, the Constitution prevails. Conflicting provisions are declared void if they contradict the Constitution. So, the 1987 Philippine Constitution establishes, limits, and defines the fundamental power of government. It is the highest law of the land, and all other law and legal issuance may be said to spring from and must be in harmony with its provisions. The following law are listed according to hierarchy from provision of the Philippine Constitution to national law and international treaties and agreements of executive order of the President to administrative order and circular issued by government agencies. The role of ordinances enacted by local government units is also briefly discussed. In each section, the laws are listed in reverse chronological order from the most recent to the oldest. So, the types of law. Laws can be classified based on the rights they cover, social, economic, cultural, or political, and how they affect rights, or the civil, political, administrative, or criminal. For example, the social rights, the right to education, healthcare, and social security. Ito yung rights ng mga tao sa pag-social, like education, yung ginagawa natin na mga estudyante. Healthcare, karapatang magpagamot, ganun. And next is the economic rights, the right to work, fair wage, and access to economic opportunities. This is the right, karapatang magtrabaho. Yun, next is the cultural rights, the right to language, cultural heritage, and the participation in cultural life. So the next one is the international law. The Philippines is bound by international treaties like CEDAW, or the Convention on the Elimination of All Forms of discrimination against women, which sets standards for gender equality that influence domestic laws.
Lesson 2. The Rights-Based Approach Model. The right-based approach emphasizes the human rights are universal, meaning everyone, regardless of gender, is entitled to the same fundamental rights. Gender equality is a human right. Discrimination based on a gender violates human rights principle of non-discrimination, equality, and universality. Gender equality is a fundamental human right, meaning it is an inherent entitlement that every individual possesses simply by virtue of their existence. It is not a gift or privilege granted by any authority, but rather a basic right that cannot be taken away. This concept is deeply intertwined with the broader framework of human rights, which emphasize the inherent dignity and worth of all individuals, regardless of all the gender, race, religion, or any other characteristic. Government obligations. The government has a duty to respect, fulfill, and protect human rights, including those related to gender equality. This means respect. The government must refrain from violating human rights directly. Fulfill. The government must take positive steps to ensure that everyone can enjoy their rights. Protect. The government must protect individuals from human rights violation by others, including private actors. Lesson 3. CEDAW and the Magna Carta of Women. The Magna Carta of Women, Republic Act 9710 is a comprehensive law that defines GAD and mandates its mainstreaming across all government agencies. It prohibits discrimination against women in various spheres including employment, education, health, and political participation. The law establishes a national commission on the role of Philippine women to oversee its implementation and address violation of women's rights. Lesson 4. Laws protecting socio-economic and cultural rights. Beyond the Magna Carta of Women, there are many other laws protecting women's rights covering social, economic, and cultural aspects. Social rights include the right to an adequate standard of living, housing, food, education, health, and social security. Economic rights include the right to work, employment, fair wages, and access to economic opportunities. Cultural rights include the right to language, cultural production, participation in cultural life, cultural heritage, and intellectual property. Lesson 5. Criminal laws on gender-based violence. The Philippine legal system has laws addressing gender-based violence, including the Anti-Violence Against Women and Their Children Act, RA 9262. RA 9262 provides protection for women and children from various forms of violence, including physical, sexual, psychological, and economic abuse. The Safe Spaces Act, RA 11313, addresses gender-based sexual harassment in public spaces, online, workplaces, and educational institutions.
I'm Lorlene Batak. So, Lesson 6, the SOGI Bill. The SOGI Bill is really important piece of legislation. It's all about making sure everyone is treated fairly no matter who they are or how they identify. The proposed SOGI Equality Bill aims to prohibit discrimination based on sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression. So, the SOGI stands for Sexual Orientation, Gender Identity, and Gender Expression. SOGI is basically about who you are like, who you attracted to, that's sexual orientation, how you feel about being a boy or a girl, that's gender identity, and how you show your gender to the world, that's gender expression. Next, this bill is crucial for protecting the rights of LGBTQ+ individuals and ensuring their equal participation in society. So the SOGI bill wants to make sure that nobody is treated unfairly because of these things. This means no more bullying or teasing because someone is gay, lesbian, transgender, or non-binary. Everyone should have equal opportunities like getting a job or going to school. Next, the bill would establish a women, children, and LGBTQ+ protection desk in police stations to handle complaints of discrimination. It means the bill even wants to create a special help desk in police stations for women, children, and LGBTQ people. It's like a safe place where people can report unfair treatment and get support. So basically, the SOGI bill is about making the world a more welcoming and accepting place for everyone. It's about making sure that everyone feels safe and respected no matter who they are.